right.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, if you throw me the
Welcome
audio,
to.
I can cut this.
We need to make a name.
We can. I thought we were going with sofa.
I still think we should have
sessions.
something to do with the garage, though.
The Garage Gang,
The Garbage Garage Gang.
Should be like red sofa sessions.
Red Sofa. Hi. This is the first podcast of the non-name brand Garage Sofa Red Session.
Raisin brand.
Raisin
I mean,
brand.
We could start with
The
a-
raisin brand sessions has nothing to do with anything we're doing.
Just favorite cereals.
Dude, this already feels so much better than doing
Yeah,
it over
honestly.
Discord.
I feel so scared.
Why?
About what?
I don't know. I don't know what to say.
Tell us about your
Or do,
inhibitions and
or
all
be.
that.
You
I
just
don't
start
even know what
talking.
that means.
You talk about what's going on in your life. You
Yeah.
start.
Like, why are you scared?
Well, that's
Are we
the new
filtered?
way.
Are we filtered?
We're semi-filtered, but you don't.
Okay.
You can cuss if you want.
Okay, but like,
You can say
Okay.
shit, bitch.
is the audio
Fuck.
working?
Duck?
Duck is also
Ducking.
Duck is.
Ducking heck.
Ducking
is-
heck.
Is duck a curse
Duck
word?
is duck the name of our podcast.
Duck.
The
Just
mother
duck?
duckers.
Just duck.
Duck.
The
Just-
mother
That's the
duckers.
name. That's the
Stanley
name.
Just duck.
Stanley Duck. Boy, have you lost your mind?
Boy, have you lost your mind?
'Cause I help you find it.
Do you kick? No,
Speaking
do
of The
you-
Office, how do you guys
do you
feel about
clap?
the Office reunion for that wedding?
Oh yeah. That was. I'm very happy with that. I like that everybody came back and did the dances they actually did in the show.
Yeah, like a little too accurate
Yeah.
to what the dances were.
It was like when
I was like,
Oscar
oh,
started doing
okay.
that hand
Yeah, yeah.
motion with his.
I hope people can't hear me breathing too much. That's gonna be annoying.
Just peaks the microphones,
Oh
just
my
blows
God.
out the microphone.
Brent screams into these things all day.
I
It's
do,
fine.
I do.
Wet with me. Oh god, we're off to a great start.
I don't
Beautiful.
even know what we're talking about.
Well,
I mean, we could talk
already
about
have
the,
some good
uh,
content here. I mean,
Well, I mean, let's talk about what we're
Quality.
doing. Well, let's talk about the podcast in general. Are we gonna start doing this often?
I mean, I would hope so. It took us like 5.
It's this long to actually
it
get
took
it
us
going.
5 minutes to do it, but we complained
Yeah.
about doing it. So
So then, how often you want to do the podcast?
I don't know,
Of this-
dude. I
of the
barely
Duck-
remember
Duck
how.
podcast.
I don't even know how I eat. Like I don't even.
What? All right. Well, let's try and do it once a week. Yeah,
Oh God.
I mean,
yeah, I'm down.
yeah, whatever.
I'm down to do that.
Yeah.
We could just do it whenever and then.
Yeah, we can
post once a
record it
week.
whenever, and I can post it like
Once a week. Yeah.
once a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down.
Does
we got
8
nothing else
does
better to
8
do.
right now, all in one shot.
Dude, totally.
I usually do podcasts for about like an hour, and then
Jesus
cut it off whenever I
Christ.
finish the conversation. So
You
Yeah,
got
man.
this.
yeah,
I mean, they're gonna hear that, so you might as well just do it. Yeah.
For those listening, Isaac is messing with
Sorry, I want to.
because we
mic
don't have
stand.
audio.
The
We don't
mic
have
stand.
video. We
My
might have
bad.
video in the future. If you guys want video, let us know.
Yeah, if you want to see our
our
ridiculous
fat
attempts of
mother
trying to.
fuckers, our
See
mother,
our
our
podcast
fat
studio.
mother duckers.
I have
Brent's garage.
like one stand that's made to be on the table, but
Mhm.
like it's one
Yeah.
and there's no table.
Yeah.
So
Honestly, bro, this is a pretty dope set. I
It
like
is.
I mean,
It
it's just
is.
a garage, but it's
well,
also
because
really dope.
there's so much shit like on the walls and stuff that
Yeah.
it kind of there's no sound bouncing anywhere.
Oh,
So
definitely.
Yeah.
it's actually
yeah,
really
and you
quiet.
have
like
and you have that,
yeah,
which is sort of like an
my
automatic
makeshift
Yeah.
I like the lighting.
whatever it's called.
If you were to get some
Uh,
of those, like,
sound.
I have that. I have that blue light
Yeah, you
right
do the
there
blue
that I
light.
used.
if I can get my
Yeah.
lights working again, my colored lights,
Oh yes,
I could put that
A
in
whole
here over the
vibe?
summer.
a whole vibe.
Okay.
I have Christmas lights that I found when I was
Oh, yeah,
cleaning
yeah,
out
yeah.
the garage.
I'm
For
thinking,
anyone who knows me, I cleaned out the garage.
I'm thinking we should start
yeah.
with some stories now. I guess.
Stories
I
about
don't know.
what?
Yeah, just like whatever we were talking about. Oh, is
What kind of
is that better?
stories?
Is that better, Brent?
Well, I don't know. I can't hear it. So
Okay.
I'm just gonna hope.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
the other
like,
thing I see podcasters do. They always got headsets on so they can hear themselves. But
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know why people.
We don't got money
Sounds-
for that.
Yeah.
We don't.
annoying.
I don't know, we don't
Anyway,
we don't have the time or effort or ability.
Honestly, this is more wholesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
We're
better.
just gonna pray that it came out good.
Yeah, yeah.
just-
yeah.
That's
The
how it
visuals
works.
would help with everything we're talking about because right now we're literally.
Well,
just-
we'll have visuals for episode 2 and see how it goes.
We
Yeah.
also are running a very makeshift setup. on
Yeah,
how to
I mean
do
this
this.
isn't
That's
like a
fine.
literal. Although we're using pretty good equipment.
We're
for
using
yeah,
a
really
we're
range.
good
starting
equipment.
Up pretty
Yeah.
good.
We're using very good equipment, not knowing how to
This
use
is,
very good
this is
equipment.
much
Yeah.
better than my podcasts in general on a usual basis because I just use Discord.
Dude, we could set that up to work.
Wow.
Set what up?
Sorry.
Wow,
the-
it's like the people just can see
Yeah.
exactly what you're
yes,
talking
You gotta
about.
remember
That's
when
why
we're
I
in
say
a
visuals
podcast-
would probably work better. But I
yes,
mean, like,
but
okay, you see the garage opener there? We
Yep.
could probably
do
set
you guys
it
see
up.
that? You guys see?
Yeah, you guys see the
I
garage
mean,
opener that's not the garage
Joey,
opener
You have to
because
explain
the
it.
garage door is
Because
not
it's a
attached to that?
podcast,
Yeah,
you have
but
to
if you attach
explain
it, it
what
would
you're
work.
looking at.
Okay, there's a garage door opener, and we could use it to open the garage. That's all I'm saying. So we
All
don't have
right,
to-
next question.
You wanted to tell stories, so what
Yeah.
kind of stories do you want to
Well,
tell?
we were just talking earlier, like actors and all that.
Y'all
like,
hear about Siren Man or
Siren
whatever his
Head.
name?
oh,
Siren
are we
Head.
starting with that? Or are we going
Siren
straight into
Head.
the urban myth and
I-
legend?
I had
I
no
don't know much
idea that
about him.
existed.
But I think he's dope because it's been a while since there's been a good new horror monster. Slenderman obviously is kind of like the classic, but they
Until the
butchered him in the
until
last
they-
movie.
Until the
Yeah,
movie.
until they ruined it with the movie.
Five Nights at Freddy's took a good took the mantle for a good while, but then after like 70 games, it kind of
It kind of
ran
just
its
got
course,
old.
you know. And they're planning another game and a movie.
They
The
okay,
movie
but
ever
I
actually
really
gets,
want the
you know,
movie to
posted.
be like I want the movie to be live action.
Yeah, same.
Like I don't
I
want
don't want
it to be
any kind of
animated.
Even if it was like 3D good animation, I'd still
Yeah.
rather it be.
well, I
yeah,
think
live
like
action.
a Chuck E. Cheese
But
vibe,
is the movie going to be based off the book or the video
That'd
games?
be
like
kinda
like
terrifying.
we should
I think
record
it's
it
gonna
at.
be based off the original game. I think.
That'll
I-
be good.
If I'm
like that'll be
because that was
good.
the scariest. Like that was what
Yeah.
broke everything on the internet.
But
was
they
the
Yeah.
can bring
original
in
Five
all
Nights.
of the like stuff with Foxy and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And I think that would be cool because no one really knows anything like
Yeah.
about anything. So I don't know, man.
I don't know. But yeah, Siren Head is the new guy, and I don't know. He doesn't have much of a story. I mean, he has lore, but he was made in 2018. It was only
What?
he was made in 2018 by the original
was-
creator.
That's old.
He was
I thought it
made.
was a new thing.
He
No.
was made
Yeah.
2
The
years
original,
ago.
The original game came out 2 years ago, but for some reason, everybody's
didn't
been
pick up
downloading
until
the game
this
and
year,
picking it
yeah.
up now.
That's interesting.
Oh,
Oh,
Oh, when was
the
the art
more
made?
the more
Was
you
it
know.
also
the art
2018?
was probably made like 2019 to 2020. I don't
Wait, but
because nobody was into it for some
yeah,
reason.
but the
It
game
never
was
picked
based
up.
off the art, which was designed by
I
that
thought
one
the game
dude.
was based off of.
Now I
No,
want to
because
play
even
the
the
game.
game title, it was Siren
Maybe-
Head
maybe I'll
based
set
off
up- maybe
this
I'll get the
guy's
game.
art.
Let you play it on my channel or something,
Yeah.
or on my Twitch.
I
I mean,
wanna
it's
play
not
the
that big
game.
of a game. It's just
Yeah.
Not that big of a
what it was made for his freaking. It was made for a freaking game jam.
Yeah.
Game jam.
No, but it's still pretty. It's decent. It's better than anything I could make.
Yeah.
No one disagrees.
Let's be honest.
What was that one thing? The kangaroo. thing-
kangaroo,
The kangaroo
Joey.
mixed with a wyvern mixed with a chicken.
Are you talking about my
Hey,
my,
stop talking,
my
bro.
animal character?
Yeah,
His name's Billy,
I mean that was pretty
and it was
terrifying.
a picture of an that I drew. I did make him out of clay once.
Yeah, his
but
clay model was
his
horrifying.
okay, but the clay model I didn't try at all on any of my clay figures. I could give less of a shit.
Yeah,
But the original picture, since you're asking what animals are in it, I made a picture of an animal. We had to do a fusion character, and my animal was a fusion between. Can you stop touching your
Yeah,
mic,
can
bro?
you stop messing with the microphone?
sorry.
That's why you make it comfortable so you don't have to touch it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I made an animal that was a
Ah.
cross between a pig, a
Come on.
kangaroo.
Come on, you got it.
I'm thinking a pig, a kangaroo, a dragon, a scorpion, a
Oh.
sloth.
I do
and
remember that.
an-
Told you it was
an
terrifying.
owl? I think an owl.
None of it made any logical sense.
It really
his name
didn't,
was
but
Billy,
it,
and
but
I
it
love
was a
him.
real animal. Like it's just a real animal now.
yeah,
Like it,
Yep.
it exists.
it exists in the real
We
world.
spoke it into existence.
Yeah, I made it, and the guy.
It's the never-ending story
I
up
remember
in
in
here.
that class, because everybody had to do one. The guy next to me, he made. I don't remember if he had a name, but his animal was like a mix between a giraffe and a squirrel. Which those are the most two opposite things you'd ever expect to see together, but they oddly worked, which was
Yeah.
kind of weird. Kind of scary, I have to admit.
I
most
want to
of
make a crocagator.
a crocagator.
Crocodile.
But like
Would
not
that
a
really
crocodile.
look that different than either
but
one?
not a crocodile, like Crocs.
Not an allodial, but a
Like a-
crocagator.
Yeah, like
Crocagator.
a crocagator. So it's like an alligator, but he's wearing Crocs.
Oh, okay.
Or like
gotcha,
his
gotcha,
feet.
gotcha.
His
Yeah,
feet are Crocs,
Yeah.
So,
and his tail is just one big ass croc.
so like that. Wait. So like the mascot for those like school lunches. That
Yeah,
used to
yeah,
get-
yeah.
Oh
The
my
freaking
God.
the freaking coins that you this was more of a my school thing, but like back in the day when I was in elementary school, you used to buy like wooden coins, so you could turn them in and get an ice cream cone for it.
I'm sorry. You would buy a piece of wood?
Yes, it was for $1, and then you would turn it in at lunch.
Wait,
and-
what?
I'm telling a story.
What kind
No,
of
but I don't
school did you
understand.
go to?
Okay, so
what did you do?
at
Wait,
school
yeah,
you would
start
take you would get $1
Okay.
and you would go up to the lady in
What
the
lady?
lunch the lunch lady. You
I'd
type
like to
in,
purchase
So you,
wood.
You go to the lunch.
you
lady,
type in the
gotcha.
code and
A code?
yeah, there's you're okay. So apparently
What?
public school stories time. So back in the day, I went to public school and elementary school and all that, and
No way.
you'd be given a code. It was the last 4 numbers of your ID code,
Okay.
and that would be your lunch number. You go
You
in.
gave them your social?
Well, basically for students.
I'm
we had-
sorry. What?
Wait,
we had
it was
like,
a joke.
It was
It
very
was a
similar
joke, and now it's
to,
real.
oh God.
It was very similar to social security number, but for students. So they
Okay.
gave you it, and this is the thing I've had all my life throughout all of it. And when you go to lunch, you would type in the
Didn't
code.
Jews get a code too?
Jeez. Guess what? You have a code too. It was, but you would.
So you use the code.
Yes, you go, you type it in, you'd
Uh-huh.
put lunch money into your account every so often so that you can buy lunch at school,
Yes.
and you would punch in the code in order to pay.
Where does
Yes.
the wood come in?
And then you would bring $1, an extra $1,
Okay.
So you
just
telling me I'm paying them more money?
yeah, but it's for a cone.
God,
You give
the
it to the
nerve.
lunch lady.
Cone.
Yeah, well, not a cone. It was actually a fudge pop. You would
This story.
What happened to the
Has been
wood?
you got
Completely
better ice cream in
changing.
high school,
Are
but
we talking like a plank of wood,
no,
or
it's
are we
like a little-
talking like
it's like a little coin. Like, you know the mascot for the school.
coin?
Yeah, you know the mascot for the school lunches.
Coins aren't made of. I'm so confused.
It was a wooden coin.
There's so many things about this
It was a
story that
wooden
just
coin.
Why
don't
didn't you
make
get-
sense.
okay, what was the? So you would get a wooden coin for $1.
Yes.
What was the wooden coin for?
Okay, you would hold on to it throughout lunch, and then when you wanted to,
You would.
All right, keep
Okay,
going. Keep
what
going.
did you
keep going.
use it for? What did you
Okay,
give it in?
and then at the end, you go
Yeah.
up to the lunch lady after you turn in your tray, and you're
Uh-huh.
like, "Hey, I would like a fudge pop," and you give her the coin, and she gives you a fudge pop.
What grade is this?
This was pretty much all of elementary school.
12th.
All of elementary school.
Yeah, up until middle school, because then they didn't.
So up until
Then
So
they,
what
then
I'm
they served
hearing-
Frosties.
So what I'm hearing.
what grade would you say middle school starts?
7th?
7th.
Yeah,
So you
seventh.
were
Yeah,
so you were
7th.
getting fudge pops for a wooden coin up until 6th grade.
whenever you can convince your parents to give you one.
We would just pay for pizza, like real food. Like we would just give real money.
Yeah,
for real food.
we got real food.
A
well,
wooden coin. I don't understand why. Why
real
can't you
food.
just give the
yeah,
dollar?
it seems like a weird
Why
system.
can't you just
but
give the dollar?
It seems
for,
like a weird system, but like it was. We were
Why
children.
wouldn't you just give the dollar for the fudge pop?
Good question.
Was it because you were kids?
I guess they
and
didn't.
that's why.
I guess
So
they
what
didn't
I'm-
trust. I think they thought we were gonna start gambling or some crap like that.
gambling. What kind of
I don't
kids were
know.
you?
Wait, hold on.
We were in the ghetto, bro.
So what I'm hearing
You weren't in the
is
ghetto.
that you were in prison
Down the street from my house.
and you turn in your prison tray because that's a thing.
yeah, essentially.
And because you don't have money because you're in prison, you gave them wood in exchange for a fudge pop. What else could I exchange
I
for
just
that
am-
said fudge pop?
Well, I guess you could trade
Your
with.
body.
I guess you could trade with other students. Yeah.
Oh.
Jeez.
What am
mean,
I what
depends
am
on
I
how much-
trading?
Do you guys like Otter
Depends on
Pops?
how much they want the fudge
What?
pop.
Do you guys like Otter Pops?
I love Otter Pops, but they
They kill
freaking
you.
destroy my lips.
Yeah, he's Joker.
That's what I don't.
You wonder how I
They're
got
good.
these scars?
But they're
The
just like
taste is good, but I can't have them for a long time.
I used to fold them in half.
Not
so
like
that I
other
just didn't cut my
like things like
lips.
because you usually eat them during summer when you're
I like
hot.
cherry fudge pops.
Those are
Or
good.
fudge pops. Otter Pops. Man, now I want a fudge pop too.
Except for they weren't even good fudge pops. They were like
They were
refrozen.
mediocre.
It's starting to get
It
pretty
was sort
hot.
of like they melted
that's
a
like-
fudge pop into a can, put a stick it back into it, and made a whole another fudge pop, but it was like refrozen. so it was all clumpy and stuff. Just didn't taste.
You
that
liked
good.
clumpy fudge pops?
No, that's just what you paid for. It
Sounds
didn't
like
have
you
good
went to an
dessert.
absolute garbage school.
It was public, yeah.
Oh well, our school. Well, okay,
Our
Del
school
Rosa was good,
prison.
but there were a lot of stories that happened. at
Yeah,
Del
but you
Rosa
guys had a
still.
lot of good supplies, in my opinion. Like
I
you
was
got
never.
actual.
I was never the kid that was allowed to have any of this like lunch food, until high school, and even then, it was more of like a
It was
under
more
the
like,
bar
can you
trading
please
system
buy
that
me?
was-
Can
what
you
did you
please
eat
buy me
for
this?
food for elementary school?
food that my mother would make. I wasn't allowed to eat
Yeah,
lunch
same.
stuff. It was like, hey, you get a sandwich, you get a bag of goldfish, an apple, and 2 waters. And if you don't eat the apple, then my ass will get beat when I get home.
Understandable.
So I would just give the apple to
I
someone
mean,
else.
I
The
had, like-
teacher, be a
so, like,
polite young
My
man.
bad, I hit the mic.
Hey,
Sorry.
it's my turn to say what I got for lunch. Jeez, all right.
went
Gosh,
to the
you
same
got
school
your
as him.
story about some weird fudge pop. I didn't. I went to the same school. I didn't have the same mother.
Oh, sorry. Continue.
I mean, I had a sandwich like every kid ever gets, unless you're like that. I forgot words. Unless you're like the kids who thought they were cool but weren't cool, who always had to have a thermos with soup in it, and it didn't matter like how hot it was outside. It could have been like 105, but they're still out there just sipping on
Chicken
some
noodle soup.
soup
Mm.
that they
Oh,
made it
jeez.
at like 7 a.m. So
Yep.
why are you eating it now at 3 p.m.? I don't know. I had a sandwich like a normal human being.
Yeah.
I also had an apple
Is that
or
fair work?
some kind of fruit or something.
You getting hot?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well,
a
too
baby.
bad. You're gonna hear it. So no fan for you.
Oh, shoot.
No fans for you. Period.
Ow.
So yeah. Oh, I got string cheese a lot.
I did get string cheese. as a
String
kid,
cheese
yeah.
is the best. Not hot
Eh.
though.
I've never liked
Um,
string cheese. It was good for a while, but then I just sort of found it annoying to try
You
to
guys
peel
are
off
weird.
I don't
each.
like it.
Yeah.
Well, no one asked you if
All the people I knew, whether friends or family, would always eat it, but they wouldn't string it. They'd just take a chomp out of it. And I
That's-
did,
That
I
is
did not like
disgusting.
that.
That's even worse.
That is
ugly.
terrible.
I found it tedious to peel off each layer of cheese.
But yeah,
I just
had-
couldn't get the wrapper open. Did you guys also have trouble trying to
Oh
get that
my
little
god!
strap
I
open
know,
above the-
especially not having nails. I'm like,
Exactly,
dude,
exactly.
I can't even find it. Like it's over. I'll just eat it through the plastic. I don't
Yeah,
even
yeah.
care.
Yeah, it was-
the usual.
The only time that I ever actually like packed a lunch was actually when I had a bit of a medical issue. Not going.
Don't you already have medical issues?
Oh, I've had several medical
You have
issues
enough,
in my
right?
life. Like
I feel like this is the Isaac podcast right now.
Nah,
Why?
I mean,
No,
I just pick up with new stories.
he doesn't tell stories. We always have all these stories about school. I'm down.
that's
to
true.
hear
He's
some
like,
school
oh man,
stories."
dude, my
As
favorite
long
school
as-
story was getting string cheese and just chomping on it.
But
That's my favorite story of high school.
I mean, if you guys want to start up with a different story, you can. I mean,
I
it's
mean,
just
give me a topic and I'll tell
I
you
mean, I
the first
technically
story.
didn't even get
Give
to
me a
finish
word.
what I
when
was.
you
Give me
have a
here's the
story.
thing. Give me a random word, any word you want, and I'll
Pickle.
tell you the first story that comes to my mind. Pickle.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Let me hold on. I can think.
I think Joey has some pickle stories.
I feel like I would have a pickle story. Pickle. I mean, I really
Too bad
like
you guys
pickles.
can't
Do
see
you
our
guys?
faces right now. I just did a mean wink at
A
him. if you're
mean
waiting.
wink.
Oh, yeah.
Do you guys like pickles?
Y'all got pickle stories? I love
yeah,
pickles,
yeah,
bro.
but
Like, could you eat a pickle by itself? That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. 'Cause
oh,
that,
hell
that's
yeah,
how.
bro.
Dude,
Oh, I love
yeah.
pickles.
Yeah,
dude, they sold
Do you
pickles
like-
at my school.
Dude, what?
Do you like the small pickles though? Like those little tiny ones?
Like the ones that are sweet?
a little bit. Yeah.
Nah.
No, I'm not a big fan
Nah.
of them. either.
Dude.
If your
They
pickle ain't
sold-
sour, I don't want it, bro.
Okay, you know how I was talking about like the
Gotta
fudgesicles?
Soak that shit
No,
in vinegar.
I don't remember. Can you repeat
remember
the
how
story?
what? I didn't hear
We
you.
were talking about the fudgesicles.
Yeah, can you
Yes.
repeat that entire story over
Okay.
again, please?
Continuing on with that a little bit, when we got to high
Why?
school, they upgraded the snacks we could buy.
Instead
One
of
of them
fudgicles,
Was
we
a
got
packaged
pickles.
pickle. Yeah,
Just
was a packaged
It was just
pickle.
a pack. Was it wrapped like a string cheese? 'Cause-
Yeah. It was exactly. That's almost exactly right. You just peel it
What?
open and there's a pickle.
What the hell are you talking
Yeah,
about?
There
you
was a
actually have to
packaged pickle.
peel. You actually have to peel the pickle like string cheese, though.
Have you seen one of these?
No, are you dumb?
I thought you were going along with it. I
no,
was like,
but there
what kind
are
of crazy
there
person?
are packaged pickles like that though.
Yeah, and they
What?
served them at the school.
Except they're big. They're the
They're
big pickles,
huge.
you know. Like it's like a cucumber size.
yeah,
Big carrots or small carrots?
Small carrots.
big.
Steamed or raw?
Steamed.
I like raw.
Yeah. I feel like I have
Steamed
to be
with
in a
nice bit of
mood.
Zestiness to it. Like put some.
Hey, you wanna hit spacebar?
Just make sure that we're being recorded.
All right. Yeah, we're good.
We're
All right, sick.
fine.
We're good.
Sorry, I've never recorded for this long at one time, so
How long has it been recording?
I don't know.
It looks
It's-
like,
it says the
6
bars,
minutes.
but it doesn't say the time. So
All right. Well, good.
6,
Yeah,
11,
we'll figure it out, I don't care.
It's
12,
fine.
6, 3.
hey, Isaac,
And
stop.
again, we're just talking. Once we feel like not talking anymore, or at least not recording our talk, we'll stop talking.
Yeah.
About to take a nap.
Give me
Okay.
another word that's not fucking pickle.
Wait, no, it's my turn. It's my turn.
Alright,
'cause
I
you've
got
been
a
talking
story
this
from
entire
school
time.
about
Hey,
pickles.
I didn't ask you for your
Alright,
story.
I
Then
know.
that one worked for you. So
Just
let's
kidding.
give Brent a
I love
random
you.
word for him to give.
Yeah,
story.
yeah. Give me a story word.
Bike.
A bike.
A bike.
Oh man. Okay. Well, well, first off, let me clarify. I don't think I ever really learned how to ride a bike. Just
Nice.
like how I
What?
don't really think I learned how to read. I think I just memorized a lot of words. I don't.
What?
I'm not fully convinced I know how to read.
What do
just
you
like how
mean?
I'm not fully convinced I know how to ride a bike.
I expect that from
Wha-
Isaac,
what-
but you.
what? Hey.
What?
I just have learned a lot of words, bro. We have a
Yeah.
lot of vocab tests, but like,
Oh, I hated those.
Yeah.
I always failed them.
yeah. Oh well, I mean,
It's understandable. I know.
high school I didn't. We're not gonna talk
Shut
about that.
up. I passed my English in high school. I had honors classes. Dang it.
I thought it was my turn to talk about a bike.
Oh, well, continue then. Stop making fun of me and my spelling habits.
I'm in danger.
Jeez. Okay, bike story.
All right, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, boomer. Okay, so I'm thinking my favorite, my favorite bike story probably has to be close around the time where I thought I learned how to ride a bike. I was getting really cocky, as one does riding a bike, and I fell into an open trash can head first.
What? Why?
Yeah.
Whoa, I think I missed a step. What?
I was
how
just
did you-
riding. I was
Trash
just
can.
riding
Did
down
you
the
hit
street.
a trash can and you kind of flipped into it?
Nah,
or-
like I was riding the bike,
You rode
like
off a
you know,
cliff and
like like a pro, and I wasn't looking in front of me as
Mhm.
one should be when riding
This
a
one
bike,
does, yeah.
and it was at the curb, and the person decided, hey, I'm just gonna leave my can open,
Oh.
and your boy just went head first straight into the trash can,
Ah.
like inside the
It's
trash
where
can.
you
My God.
belong.
Yeah, honestly, like that was the moment where I knew, like, you know, this might work out for me. This
I
might be
a
it.
piece of
What?
trash.
What outside like?
Oh, we love you, Brent.
What,
No,
what
it's
do you-
okay.
what universal word do you use for like bikes, skateboards, scooters? What word would you use?
Mode of transportation.
I
Yeah,
would
but,
say
like,
transportation.
Transportation, but like not cars. I mean,
Outdoor, maybe like outdoor activities.
outdoor activity, like but the ones with wheels. So all of those. Which
Okay.
one hurts the worst when you crash it
Oh, I
or
mean,
fall off?
I
scooters
mean-
break your ankles.
Oh, that's true.
Okay, but if you're
Um,
having
so that
roll-
hurts.
like roller skates, like you
I
get-
roller skated. I don't think I've ever had a.
I never got onto blades, but I always.
terrible-
Yeah,
I've
but
always skated.
if you're roller skating down the like down some asphalt and you just like trip that,
Oh well, yeah,
Like,
but I
you-
think that's any.
you-
Getting like scratching
Oh,
the asphalt
or the
when you
hands,
fall.
like
Yeah.
your hands,
Oh,
bro.
Dude, there's
God.
nothing protecting you.
It
like
hurts
you're not
the
even
worst, like,
because your feet aren't a
hands,
thing.
dude.
You can't like catch
That's why
yourself
everybody
with it.
told like,
Yeah.
your mom
Like,
and everything.
the
was
wheels
like,
are
Yo, you
attached
need
to
knee
you."
pads, and I never believed them till you.
Yeah.
You never believe them till you
You know,
fall.
Yeah. Well,
And
I mean, like I used to speed skate, and like when you're speed skating, you're hitting like 20 miles an hour, like on
Yeah.
like flat ground. And I'll never forget, I was in the middle of a race, and dude clipped my back wheel, and went
God, we're all
face for yeah, dude. What's up with you
Oh,
guys?
it's
Oh, it's
Jackson.
Jackson.
That's Jackson.
We
We
walk
all
in
had a
today.
different reaction.
Um,
Oh, it's Jackson. Oh, it's Jackson.
we
Oh,
already
it's
walked,
Jackson.
bud.
Kill me
We're
now.
on a podcast, loser.
Oh, don't
Anyway,
tell
so,
him
so
that.
you were on a race.
Oh yeah, so I was in a race, and someone clipped my back wheel on like
Oh, no.
on the 5th lap, and
Son
I'm
of
gonna.
a-
I should turn my phone down.
Yeah.
My
that
bad.
was me. That was
Oh.
me. My
yeah, but I
bad.
should still turn my phone down.
Yeah, you guys should definitely turn your sound off.
There we go.
But
All fixed.
cause I always used to cut from the outside, so I was on the outside of the turn,
Mm-hmm.
and it got clipped, and I just went face first, like into the ground, and I hit my head and
Was
I
this on a
knocked
rink?
out. Yeah, and
Oh.
I knocked out
You got a legit concussion.
straight up. Like, yeah. I mean, I didn't go to the hospital because I don't do that. But like,
Yeah, but you should have at
Bro.
least gotten tested.
Speaking of skate, where did you learn to skate?
Stardust.
Stardust. Oh my
Yeah.
god, it burnt
Well, I
down.
mean, that's where I worked.
one of the-
Like, yeah,
That's
dude.
insane.
Dude, we were talking. We
Could
we
you-
were all there
can
when
you
we were talking about a
imagine, like-
Burger King.
Dude,
Yeah,
I mean, like,
but
I
we
started
haven't talked about it
skating
on
there
the
when I was
podcast, right,
5,
yeah.
dude. Like, I
That's
skated
insane.
there when I was 5. I
I-
worked there from like 11 to
That's
13.
where I learned how to
Like,
skate.
I
That's where we
still
had a
say
lot of
that if
that's
we
parties
get
so
and
enough-
stuff.
crazy.
If we get enough money, we should buy the property, rebuild Stardust. He could be the manager.
Where is this money coming
Bro,
from?
yeah, I
When
know.
we're older, dude.
Hey,
like
but
when
you
we
know
make
When we're
that-
older,
investments.
when I'm 35,
When
I'm gonna
a
have over
master
$1 million
psychologist-
to
Exactly.
replace
When
all
I'm a
of
master
it.
psychologist with enough money to pay for
And I
3
animate
houses,
Bro, you're
YouTube
gonna be a
videos.
Toby. You're gonna be an HR in an office.
I will be HR possibly.
Um,
It's a probability.
well, they were like one of the very few rinks that still had a wood floor. Everyone uses polished cement and stuff like that. And I only know that because of like speed skating and skating for like my entire life, pretty much, like before high school.
yeah.
But like it's crazy. Like that floor was like a very like unique floor, you know. Not everyone has a floor like that. So it's like really sad to think like that's gone. Like that's
Yeah,
literally
no,
a
it was-
piece
it
in
was-
history
it was
that
crazy.
people
I
know.
didn't even know
Yeah.
about it.
Like, oh shoot,
until-
like it's a wood floor.
if you've
you
ever
know?
been in San Bernardino,
So-
you know.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
if you've
Everybody
ever
in San
lived in San
Bernardino loves
Bernardino.
Stardust.
Yeah, even though it got crazy,
Oh, yeah.
obviously, like with the neighborhood and stuff, like
Stardust was the place.
parents were going there, grandparents,
Exactly.
Okay,
like, you know.
how did you guys remember the way to Stardust? Was there any specific like landmarks?
Yeah, there was a building next to Stardust
Long
with
John
a black
Silver's.
chick, and the black chick was made in graffiti, and I
That
don't
too.
know.
Oh yeah,
And there was like
Yeah.
that girl. She had like some purple top or something.
Yeah,
yeah, on the side of
That's
the building.
Yeah, on the side of the building.
yeah.
That's how I remembered where
I'd
Stardust.
say
I
that-
remember going
I
down
wouldn't
the way to
consider that-
Wells
I would
Fargo,
consider that mural, honestly. at
the
that
Wells
point in time.
Fargo or Chase.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
always know from that. I'm like,
Mine-
okay, I turned left here, like, you know. like-
Mine was across the street. Was a
Oh, you were
car
coming a
wash.
different way. I forgot about. Yeah, you're going a different way than we would.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what car wash you're talking
Yeah,
about.
for me it was
Yeah.
always the car wash with the giant.
like you go from
pillars.
Waterman. You go from Waterman and you turn
Yeah, and Long
right.
John Silver's,
yeah,
yeah.
and then the Long John Silver's is there. I think Long John Silver's used to be something else.
Oh,
Before.
I don't know.
I
Maybe
don't.
it
I don't
wasn't
remember what it
Popeyes.
was though.
okay. You know how I said
It
that.
was something though.
I
You know how
wouldn't know,
I said
no.
that the Popeyes scarred me with their hush puppies.
Oh no, that's definitely Long John Silver's, brother.
Yeah.
Because I don't think. I don't think Popeyes has hush puppies, bro.
It might. Yeah, I think it was
It
Long
was
John's.
probably
yeah,
Long
probably Long
John's.
John's. Because all I know is that whatever restaurant scarred me, I now
Sorry, we were
hate
talking
hush
about this
puppies.
in the car,
No, you're
and I was
good. I
very
don't eat from
confused
either,
when
so
he
I
was
don't
talking
really
about
know.
it. So I was like, "Oh
The
yeah,
only thing
cool."
I get from Popeyes is their biscuits.
Oh, they
Popeyes
do have
biscuits
some-
slap.
dude,
Okay,
yeah.
best biscuits.
I'd
Red Lobster.
Yeah.
Yep.
yeah.
Okay,
Red Lobster.
I
are
can see
the
that.
best.
I can
Best
see that.
best wings.
I mean, B-dubs.
Boneless wings. B-dubs.
Also
B-dubs. Yeah, boneless
Bone
wings
in
beat-
though.
Hmm.
Little Caesars.
What about Wingstop?
Fuck Wingstop,
Fuck
bro.
Yeah.
Wingstop, bro.
I mean,
That's
it's
gonna be my
cheaper.
one cuss word of the day, bro. Fuck Wingstop.
Yeah, I mean, it's cheaper though, and it's closer to my house.
Wingstop tastes like ass.
It tastes like cardboard.
It does, but food is food.
They either
I
give
will
you
eat
the
a car.
driest piece of garbage you can think of, or it's soaked, like it's drenched. Not even.
no,
good.
don't get me wrong. I agree.
Yeah.
Their garlic,
No, I know. I'm just
their
saying.
garlic stuff
ugh.
is terrible. But
What's the best wing flavor? Or most, best for you guys?
probably
Buffalo.
honey,
Buffalo.
Yeah.
something with honey,
You
honey
like the honey
mustard,
ones?
honey mustard. Yeah,
Honey mustard. I
For
don't
me,
like.
like, I
I
know
don't
the
like
most
honey
common
mustard.
is
Like-
probably like buffalo.
Yeah,
A nice
buffalo
sit-down
or
one.
barbecue.
Yeah.
Like,
a nice
those are probably the most
sit down one
common.
that I can really enjoy, like with like a
Yeah,
cup of, like,
that's like
soda.
me too. Cause I can eat way spicier wings than buffalo, but like I don't want to cry the entire time
Yeah.
I'm eating them.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't
like I
wanna-
don't.
I don't want to
Yeah.
ghost pepper my mouth every day of the
Yeah.
I'll
week.
do those ghost pepper things as like a challenge, but I would never eat them.
Dude,
like,
I ate
just
I
half
wouldn't
one,
just
eat
sit there
them
and be
because,
like, "This was a good
The
idea."
whole point of food is that you're supposed to enjoy the taste. You're not supposed to sit there and like
Yeah,
force the taste.
yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
I
Exactly.
I legitimately ate half of one, and not kidding. It wasn't even
the
the end
pepper
of
or the wing?
the wing, the
With the-
ghost pepper
Yeah, gotcha.
wing. I had a half of one because we were doing this griefing thing for tennis because we did that
Yeah.
in the day. And legitimately halfway through, I ate the half of it, And legitimately, for the rest of the night of eating, I was suffering with a dark descent. And, like, I was just, like, all the way in the bus, I was coughing. And legitimately, on the car ride home, I finally got over it enough to actually start breathing normally
Ghost
again.
pepper used to be like
Those
the
things
biggest
are
pepper on YouTube. It was the
terrible.
big thing.
And then it was Carolina Reaper
Yeah,
after
Carolina
that.
Reaper.
Yeah.
took
And that's a
over.
hybrid of a ghost pepper and a
I've always wanted to just go on Hot Ones.
Oh my God.
On a Hot Ones
Yeah.
interview just because I want to try it.
I mean,
Dude,
David
Bert
Dobrik threw
Kreischer.
up after, bro.
Yeah, but David Dobrik is a pussy when it comes to food.
That
be
is very
honest.
true.
Bert
That dude
Kreischer
eats
with the-
watermelon on bread.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. He's not exactly good with eating.
Dude, Bert
He's very
Kreischer, though,
picky.
the fire that came out of his mouth, just the
Yeah, Bert Kreischer.
absolute-
He wanted to do it
Dude.
though. He's been a fan of theirs
Yeah,
since
totally.
they started.
But the fact that pepper had on his mouth,
Mm-hmm.
he was a dragon.
Yeah,
He is the machine.
he's a machine.
Okay.
Awkward silence.
This is an AMR, SMR, whatever.
No, we are not doing
This is
it.
an
I figured out.
AMR.
Yeah, man. All right, let's do the story game again.
Okay. I had one, but I
Who's-
can't
who's
remember what it
next?
was.
You had a word or a story?
No, I had a story.
All right. Well, if you can't think of the story, then pick a word.
Oh wait, bicycle. So continuing bicycle theme.
Okay.
So when I was a kid,
Yes.
there were these little douchebags that I used to ride bikes around with. Right? I'm not gonna name any names, but
Yeah.
they were absolute pieces of garbage. But
Gotcha.
I mean, they weren't, but they were also. It was like, okay, you guys know how you guys joke around a lot,
Yes.
and I'm always like the butt of the joke.
Yes.
It was that, except for in not a friendly way.
Oh, so they actually hated you.
I think so.
Understandable.
No joke, just pain.
Yeah, pretty much. But like legitimately, these guys just like they were the bane of my elementary school existence.
What does that mean?
Bane?
Yeah.
It's
I
the
have never heard
the opposite of
anybody
life,
ask that.
like
and
what
now
you
I'm
live
curious.
for. It's like the opposite of that. It's what kills you. Like bane
Okay,
of
go
your
on.
existence.
So they hated you, and you
Right.
hated
Y'all
them.
ever notice I have a flamingo with a
You have like 20
with a,
You have,
flamingos.
like,
but no, this one's very specific. I have a flamingo with a Santa Claus hat on.
Yes, you also
And
have
till
a
this
Halloween one
day-
over there that looks like a skeleton.
I never remembered ever buying that flamingo.
So, this one time,
All right, good talk.
we used to ride bikes and stuff around because I didn't have any friends when I was a kid.
That's
Like, yeah, like the only people I
yeah, it was very sad.
yeah, I was. I mean, the only people I hung out with were these people who hated my guts, I think. And one day we were riding the bike, right? And then like we were riding bikes up and down the hill, and then you remember my bike crash? It was terrible, right? Or not terrible, like you know what I mean? Like it was all bloody and stuff. My eye got shot, and it was like I forgot pain. I guess I don't know. It was weird, but I legitimately went up to these guys afterwards, and I was like, "Okay, so how did this happen? Can you guys tell me anything about it?" And like, legitimately, I got 4 different stories. One of them was like, "Someone threw a rock at your tire." The other one was like, "You just flipped," and then the other one was like, "This guy was over here. This guy was over there," and they kept on telling me these different things, and I was just like, "Jeez, you guys just need to tell me what happened. That's all I want to know." And then legitimately they were blaming each other for it, and then I just like I guess it's not that interesting of a story, but it always pissed me off how much they didn't tell me about this one day I could not remember.
Your story. Your
Is-
story.
is
let me
these
get this
guys
straight.
are
Your
complete
story
douches. That's
is
it.
that you have 4 people you know.
No, it was 2.
My bad. 2. There's 2 people you know, and they gave you 2 different stories.
About a day I could not remember.
And that's connected to a bike because there
Yeah,
was a
because I
bike
got
in
in
the
a bike
story.
wreck. A bike wreck, yeah. That's why I forgot, because I got in a bike wreck and I couldn't remember what happened.
Ah.
Sorry.
So another word then.
Okay.
It wasn't that bad of a story, but I don't. Meh. Brent, your turn. Pick a word. We'll do another story game.
I'm sorry, what?
Pick a
Pick
word.
a word.
What?
Pick
Is what the word?
What?
Okay, I got an idea. Okay, describe your favorite beach trip that you've ever been on.
Ooh.
Oh,
Oh, I've been on a lot though.
yeah.
God, I can tell you my least favorite.
Which
Okay,
one?
do both.
Your birthday.
Oh yeah.
Or your unbirthday, or whatever you want to call it, because it
Very
wasn't your
merry
actual
My
birthday
birthday.
to
16th birthday
you.
that was like 6 months after my
I
actual
hated that
birthday.
beach trip because it was fun hanging out with you and all, but then
But then your parents
I
were
had
there.
to leave early. I was pissed.
My parents were there too. I didn't want
Actually,
my
maybe it
parents
was
there.
Okay,
senior
but, like,
sunset.
Let's go through this
That might have
systematically.
also been a-
What
Senior
was
Sunset was a bad
Daylight?
one.
That was a bad experience.
I mean, that one was good for me. I had a good
Wasn't
time.
good for me.
Well, you know, maybe you should stop getting broken up with, and then it will be easier.
Me?
Yeah.
What do you mean stop getting broken up with? I don't mean to.
Well,
How many of all the how many have I
fix
dated?
it.
I've dated 5 girls.
Oh, you player?
And then one of the 5 kept on breaking
How
up
many
and
did I break up with?
redating
I
you.
broke up with 2. I broke up with Sarah.
How many times did
and
you keep
Hope.
on breaking up with Sophia or whatever?
Sophia broke up with me 6 times.
Yeah, that's so
and then
dumb.
tried to get back with me
Hey.
a 7th.
That's you're an idiot. You know that?
I'm not an idiot. I'm lonely.
You were in like the 6th grade.
Yeah, and it was the first girl who ever liked me, and then she also really liked to. Like, I don't know. She twisted things, bro. She would always like get other people to be like, "Oh, Joey, blah blah blah." and then-
Mind you, he was in 8th grade.
Nah. It's
That-
fine.
Is dumb.
Listen,
I
wanted
remember
love.
meeting
Okay.
the chick. I remember hating the chick.
No, it wasn't 8th grade.
I
It- it
can't
would've-
wait
it would've
till
been
this
6th or
podcast
7th
is
because
finished and I go to edit it and then realize that like
Why-
someone's
None of-
voice hasn't shown up
none
at
of
all
the
in the
audio.
entire.
I
I
mean,
played it
so
all.
far it looks like it's been catching it all.
Yeah, but Joey looks like his is way lower compared to everyone else's.
So just
Uh.
turn him up. It's fine.
It's fine. I'll just put.
Test.
It does look really low. That's pretty
Yeah,
mine
you're
is
a lot
probably-
lower compared
Sorry,
to ours.
Joe. You
Eh,
It's
It's
fine. I'll
lower,
just,
it's
I'll just
fine.
crank yours up really bad.
Yeah.
Like only the game though, so it's like.
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, Sophia did play me a lot. First crushes.
Play like a
First
fiddle.
We
crush,
weren't
not-
done with the beach trip thing.
We'll get to crushes in a second. My
Alright.
favorite beach trip. Oh, there's a lot though.
All right, let me say mine then, because I know mine.
I'll
I think
of mine while you
my
tell.
favorite one was probably going to Laguna for the first time, and it was with my friend Seth, and it was like me, him, his dad, and his grandma, and his dad in the younger years had a very bad problem with drugs, so his brain is pretty fried. And me and
Nice.
Seth begged his grandma for us to stay at the beach overnight. And after me paying for half the room, she was like, "Okay, we can stay." So, sitting there,
Barbecue sauce on my titties.
you know it. And with no money, I was very poor after that trip. Me and Seth went to go get ramen noodles, and realized we didn't have money
Nice.
as we were in line. And some dude came up and he was like, "Hey, yo, can I go in front of you?" And we were like, "Well, yeah, of course," because we're trying to figure out how we're gonna pay for ramen noodles, because we were poor. And this dude, he only has one item, and it's Pepto Bismol. And
Nice.
he gets up there and he was trying to use his card, and the girl wouldn't let him use his card because it wasn't even $5. So he paid for all of our stuff.
Oh, that makes sense.
And that's how we got ramen noodles.
Ends up being Elon Musk.
But I have to tie this all into his dad being on drugs, because obviously I can't just bring that up
Well,
and
yeah.
not say why
Well, I
s-
brought up
it
people
up.
being douchebags, and that was it.
Yeah. We got back to the hotel, and it was like probably like 1 or something like that. And his dad gets up in the middle of the night, and he was like, "Bro, they're here. They're here. Like, we gotta we gotta go. And he stands
Yeah.
up on the desk and everything, and he's like tripping out, bro.
Aliens.
No.
And I'm sitting there, and like, mind you, I've never spent the night with his dad there.
Yeah.
And so I was like, what is going on with this man?
What's
Like, what is this
happening?
dude doing? Help, I'm in danger. And then his grandma just wakes up and is like, "Larry, come on, go back to bed." He went, "Okay." And that was it.
Was
and
that
that was it.
was that your best or your worst?
That was probably my best, mainly because I've never been through something like that.
Okay.
And I also got a lot of free ramen. And I didn't even eat the ramen. We bought the ramen. I didn't even eat it. I just went back to bed.
Nice.
So
Okay.
that was my story.
What was
I
your
can tell
worst?
you, I can.
Oh, my
Oh,
worst.
your worst.
Man, I don't know. I love the beach, so I don't really know what my worst is. Maybe like
I figured out my best.
I don't know. Yeah, you go first.
My
'cause
best one, just because it. Sorry, had to click a button, but my best, not best, I would say, but my favorite trip to the beach was when I'm pretty sure we went to the beach in Costa Rica. It was me and my family, and while we were out, we all take a trip. We go out to the, beach as we're talking about, and we're playing in the water. My mom doesn't like to get in the water. I think if Jonathan was there, he was definitely too little to swim, so he's probably up with my mom. And so it was just me, my dad, and my sister. And my dad is very big on you got to get in the water and have fun, because why else are you at the beach? You could just sit in a sandbox. So
It took me a while to get that too. It was like sandbox. What do you? But you were at the beach.
Yeah, but why are you gonna go to the beach just to stare at sand? You got to go in the water and enjoy the sand. That's the part of the beach trip. Anyway, sorry, I get frustrated with people who don't go in the water. I don't swim. What do you do? I read books. Read books at home, bitch. You're taking up space. Exactly. Anyway,
You can read books at a goddamn library.
exactly. Go to the beach to have fun and
pasty
do stuff.
mother fluffer.
So we're in the water, me, my dad, my sister. And while we're in there, you swim out, you go far to have fun, and bigger waves are near the back. Well, there was this one wave that this
Great
one
start of a
wave
story.
hit bigger than we were all ready for. And I'm trying to think.
lake fluid.
Trying to think of the order. It was. Yeah, okay. So it was my dad was the first to be hit by the wave, and then me, and then my sister, right? So I see the wave coming. My dad does not. I don't know about Becca. And I, in an attempt to not get hit by the wave, I immediately just duck down into the water, and I'm ready for it to go right over my head.
Yeah.
My dad, who did not see the wave coming, he gets hit so hard by the wave, and he was right next to me too. So imagine, he gets hit, I'm right next to him, crouched down. What do you think happens? He trips over me.
Oh.
It was not bad yet.
Oh.
I thought it was hilarious that he tripped over me. I'm thinking, this is fun. My dad fell. Oh, I'm a kid. This is awesome. This is great. Ha 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 ha. And then so the wave passes, right? And I think it's hilarious. I jump out of the water. I'm like hysterically laughing, and I'm enjoying life. As I'm laughing, it takes a second for me to hear the fact that my sister is screaming bloody murder.
Oh.
And I'm like, what?
It really be like
Yeah,
that.
it really be like that. I was so confused because I didn't understand what happened, and because I was laughing. Then my dad yells at me for laughing. He's like, "This is not a funny time. You can't laugh. Get back to the shore right now." And I was like, "What did I do?" I didn't understand.
You should have said something.
Apparently, my dad got hit by the wave, tripped over me, and his leg
Flew up.
hit
Oh, I
Becca
was right.
in the forehead,
Oh.
and Becca got a huge bump on her head because my dad's for the listeners, I don't know if I've ever mentioned this in any of my videos,
Oh.
but my dad has a prosthetic leg.
Yeah.
He lost it in a car incident when he was 17 years old.
He was
A car
delivering
incident?
newspapers.
Whatever, accident, shut up. That's not the point. The point is,
You know those things on the driving test when they're like if there's two
driving
trucks
test?
going up and down a
this isn't a place of grammar, Brent. This is a place
road.
of talk.
like going up and down a
You
road.
can
I
tell.
was just
Who
gonna-
has the right of way and all that? Yeah, this is why they have that on the test.
I'm not even gonna lie. I couldn't make out one word you
Well,
just
that's because
said.
you keep on talking. Anyway,
I
continue.
don't think the listeners could either.
Yeah, you just
Well,
broke the mic.
whatever.
Just because you keep on.
Okay, just continue.
I mean, that's pretty much it. I just laughed
That's all.
because, and I got scared because I didn't understand what happened, and I guess my dad's leg flew off and hit Becca, or maybe he just hit Becca. I don't know, but it was the funniest thing that I come out of the water laughing my ass off, and
It's just like,
and
I
my
hate you,
dad-
Joey. Go home.
Yeah, it's like my dad was furious. Becca's crying, and then we all had to go back inside, and I was very pissed that my fun was
Inside,
over.
inside the beach.
The beach house.
Oh, so you guys can afford a beach house?
No,
Oh, that's
my
cool.
grandpa can.
Oh,
Sorry that I put my lips on the mic. Corona.
Anyway, okay, so my turn.
no,
I don't have corona. That was a joke. Please don't sue me.
Okay. Well, anyway,
no.
what do you mean? No.
I don't want you to talk anymore.
Why?
'Cause-
So mean.
Why? Okay. So okay. So
Dude, I just said stop.
Bro, let him talk.
Fine.
What's your best beach trip?
Oh, I'm gonna start with my best and then go to my worst. So, best beach trip. Probably
We really do need video for
with
this.
my youth group that I was a part of. We Anna. Anyway, we went to a beach trip, and my friend Dopey, you guys, I talked to you guys about them. He showed up, and then we were all like just hanging out. We were eating watermelon. Or no, there wasn't watermelon actually. It was just like tangerines. I think it was funny.
Yeah.
It was stuff was there, and we were eating, and we had fun. And then we were going down to Ruby's, the diner on Long Beach, and then we just we hung out the entire
You
day.
mean Huntington?
Yes. Sorry, my bad. It's there's a couple of
Who
rubies.
cares?
There's a couple of rubies.
I
But anyways,
care.
continuing.
Yes.
That was the best day. My worst
Gotcha.
day was so there's this place called Point Magoo. I swear, it is the most cursed place in all of
Why?
the shore side, because every time my church went there for like a vacation or like the family
You're such an ass.
family week or something,
Yeah.
someone got hurt. Someone nearly died. One year,
That sounds
someone
like my
got
kinda party.
dehydrated so much that they passed out on a mountain, and we had to carry him back to the camp. One time, a lady named
You just reminded me of a story. Remind me to tell it when you're done.
Missy Alofa got hit in the shin so hard with a rock in the water that she had to go to the hospital
Snapped her
Her
Her shin.
ankles.
She hit her shin so hard that
with a rock.
take me to the hospital.
Yeah, she almost broke her leg. It was crazy.
That rock was inside her shin.
But yeah, people pass out,
Oh,
people almost
God.
die. But it hit my family all at once.
Oh no,
So
your family.
one day,
Where was this story?
what?
Why didn't you ever tell this story first?
I don't know.
He's telling
but
it
anyways-
now.
Point Magoo.
Well,
Point Magoo.
so the same week that Missy Alofa got her shins hit, me and my family were out on the beach, right? So
as one does.
as one does, me and my dad were in the waves. But the thing is that Point Magoo is notorious for its riptides.
Mm-hmm.
And one day, me and my dad were like out there, and then I got caught in a riptide, and we were all like struggling to like get out of this thing. I thought I was gonna drown. It was pulling us back in. He says, my dad's screaming at me like, "Ride the wave!" But the thing about riptides is that they drag you in. But it's like,
Ride the wave.
yeah, honestly. And then like I thought I was gonna die. The neglectful guys.
You got this. I'm
Okay,
just saying you got
the
this.
lifeguards were
Yes.
sitting on the beach, and then they were just like looking at it because they didn't know what to do. And then we were just like,
Wait, no, that cause for that means pause. What do you mean the lifeguards were sitting there and didn't know what to do?
they didn't know what they just.
What do you? Why are there lifeguards if you're being pulled out to sea and they don't know what kind of life?
Obviously, the kind that weren't trained.
That's the question, isn't
Oh
it?
God, he's
They were like, "Oh,
he's
I
being
didn't."
sucked out into the ocean. This calls for a
Ah.
lifeguard.
Oh,
He's like,
no.
Does
"I
anybody
don't
know
really
one?"
know.
Yeah, legitimately.
They're like, I don't really know if I'm cut out for this job.
well, there's another
didn't-
one gone.
I didn't think my
God.
summer job required
But
me to do
yeah.
anything.
Those guys are just sitting there. My dad comes out to help,
No
and
way.
then we're like swimming back in, and then so that was day one, which
How many days are there?
two.
Oh my God.
27.
35.
Well, it was a full week, but the worst happened within the first 2
Only
days.
explain the two, please.
I will.
Okay.
And
my
then
God. So mean.
then day two.
Did you hear that laugh? He's hurting on the inside, man.
then day 2, I was all like scared because I didn't want to go back out in the water or whatever
Yes.
because I was a kid. And I was sitting there, and then like eventually I got back out into the water because life goes on, and I don't care if I die, I guess. But
Oh.
all of a sudden, I come back out of the water and I see a crowd around my mom. Like
Oh,
my
no.
dad's doing like CPR, and people are like, "Mom," I thought my mom was dying legitimately. Like, yeah, she was legitimately passed out on the beach, and everybody was super confused.
You hate to see it.
I hate to see it.
I was gonna laugh, but I was like, "Oh shit, she
Yeah.
might have died."
well, she didn't. Obviously, you've met her. And
That's
then,
your mom?
Shut up.
Jeez. Okay, so we were on the
Thought
beach,
she
and
was
then
your
this was
sister.
happening, and then
Yes.
Dad was freaking out. Everybody was freaking out. And then an ambulance came and picked
Yes.
up my mom. She was breathing and all that, and then she was taken to the hospital.
She's in danger.
Yeah. Yeah, but then we all went to the hospital the next day. Like, we were just hanging out, and people were like, "Oh no, it's someone almost died." And then and then we found out that she had low iron in her blood, and she like was chewed on ice and all that for like a lot of time. So there was a bunch of signs pointing towards it, but we didn't know anything. So when she passed out on the beach, she was taken to the hospital, and in the hospital room was the first time I ever saw the movie Braveheart, and yeah. So that's pretty much it. She almost passed out on the beach. She almost died.
And then you saw Braveheart.
And then I saw Braveheart. Yeah.
The story that you reminded me of, I won't make it too long, but it made me think of this time that me and my family went to this little camp spot, and the spot was right near this. So it was a big river, and the river split California and I believe Nevada. I don't remember which exact state, but I'm pretty sure it was Nevada. Maybe not. Maybe it was Arizona. I don't know. But it split California and some other state. And it was this big river, and
You
it's
got
kind of a
this.
cool
I mean, it's either-
tourist spot.
It's either Nevada or New Mexico or something. Or
Anyway,
That's
we were
like a
there,
geography.
right? And there's this spot that the river kind of goes into, and that area is where the campsite is. Well, you're able to. There's big cliffs and mountains that surround this big area, which is why it's such a cool camp spot. So me and my dad, one of these days of the camp trip, we go up to the top of that cliff, and we look over the big river. And as we're looking over the big river, you're allowed to ride the big river like as families or people, because there's like a starting point.
It's called the Big River.
I don't know what the river's called. I'm sorry.
You're allowed to ride.
I'm gonna keep calling
Big
the big
River.
river. It's the big river. I don't know. There's probably like a starting point and then an ending point where you can get off. And it was so funny because one of these times when me and my dad got up to the cliff, we're looking over the river, and this family, or first of all, this one guy on his own zooms past because of the current, because it's fast, and he just zooms past, and I can't hear him saying anything audibly, but he just goes, right? Not 2 minutes later, there's a family. The current has slowed down a bit, and this family starts floating past, and they see me and my dad. We're like 6 stories above them in height, and they go, "Hey, have you seen our son? Help! We lost him a couple miles back."
A couple miles.
I was like,
how long have they been chasing
I
this
was
man?
like, he went that way.
There's no other way to go.
They were like, "All right, thanks." They just floated off. It was the best thing ever.
How does that even?
I don't know. It was
doesn't
so
make
great.
any
It was
sense.
so great.
Boy.
I mean, we can leave it there if you
Yeah,
want. I
honestly,
mean,
we've had a lot of good
yeah. This podcast has been good for just
Yeah,
some
it's
stories.
hot.
content.
Hot in here.
Yeah. I definitely can't do this podcast like this for hours on end, but it's
I
fun to
mean-
do a good hour's worth or something
Yeah.
in here. Well, if you guys enjoyed, I mean,
Like,
let
share,
us
and subscribe.
know. Like, share, subscribe, whatever. I don't care.
Ring
Do
the
whatever
bell.
you gotta do.
Do
Put
whatever
on-
you gotta do.
Put on. Don't
Help us
block.
figure out a name because we're
notification.
absolute shit at making a name.
Yeah.
We're in a
our
garage
surroundings.
and
Yeah.
there's a red couch in here, and we kind of thought that would be fun to make the name related to that. So if you guys have some ideas,
Or the garage or whatever.
Drop it in the comment section below.
yeah.
Hey, Brent, you should make an outro drum beat.
Bam, 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 bam. Boom.
Or like, like a guitar or your drums over there. I don't know. This is
All right. Well,
Best
up to
drum
you,
outro.
musician man.
Best drum outro.
my outro is just gonna be goodbye. I love you guys.
That's copyrighted.
My mouth
You
making.
just got us monetized.
What
there.
do you mean?
Demonetized.